Heavily compressed breathing is recognized by a way of breathing that is reactive on the inhalation, meaning the inhalation takes place as a reaction to an imagined deficit of oxygen. No pause between the in-breath and out-breath, and the urgent urge to exhale in a heavily compressed manner. The nature of this type of breathing is characterized by forced, active inhalation to forced, active exhalation. Here is an example of a heavily compressed breathing. This way of breathing makes it very difficult to have a sense of presence and awareness during the implementation of the exercise, because all one's attention is placed on overcoming the faulty perception of breath deficit. People who habitually use this mode of breathing tend to breathe predominantly in the upper part of the lungs, which results in a restricted movement of the diaphragm with an elevated and constricted rib cage due to the one-dimensional movement of the chest in inhalation. Shallowed, compressed breathing is recognized by a way of breathing that is constricted and limited on the inhalation, with no sense of pause between the breaths, and a passive and collapsed vacuum-like exhalation. The nature of this type of breathing is characterized by a feeble inhalation and an empty exhalation. Here is an example of a shallowed, compressed breathing. This way of breathing creates the running out of breath syndrome because of a lack of elastic tension in the diaphragm. This manner of breathing facilitates holding the breath as a faulty compensative maneuver to duplicate the need for diaphragmatic and intercostal tension. People who habitually use this mode of breathing tend to push out the belly as a means of mimicking the expansive movement of the lower part of the lungs in the process of inhalation, and to press the chest downwards to mimic the release of movement of the abdominal in exhalation. Conscious breath control is recognized by an inhalation that comes in reflectively, meaning inhalation without concentration or conscious desire to breathe in, and then a pause, followed by an exhalation that is consciously controlled with no compression whatsoever. The nature of this type of breathing is characterized by a gentle, urge-free inhalation and an active, evenly balanced exhalation. Here is an example of a conscious breath control. This way of breathing makes it easier to coordinate a breathing pattern to movement and inhibit the tendency to concentrate on breathing instead of placing awareness and attention on the movement and principles that govern the movement. People who use this mode of breathing are more efficient in controlling the dynamic, rhythm, and tension of movement without losing the sense of presence in the present. Bornhood lies where movement becomes a meditation in thought, speech, and action.